What is up, everybody? Hopefully, you're having a wonderful day. We have a few things to talk about. We got Kaguya Love is War Set 2 coming out for English. We got Restriction List. We also got a lot of Japanese stuff. So, we got Sword Art Online 10th Anniversary. We got Key All Star. We have Azur Lane. And finally, if that wasn't action packed enough for you, I have the Bushiroad Fiscal Year 2022 financial results. I know. If you're watching this late at night, the best part about that is you're going to fall asleep. You're going to see some ads. I'm going to get some revenue from that. So that's going to be pretty awesome. By the way, if you're wondering, I do get revenue from ads. And the reason why I really wanted to do that was to just make sure that I could keep my stuff in tip top shape. So hopefully, the money that I get from that, I'm going to use for a microphone, for a sweet camera. So that's what I'm going to be using that for. I'll just go back to making better videos for all of us to watch and endure through. Anyways, first up is Weiss Schwarz on Twitter and other various social media places came out with Kaguya-sama Love is War available for pre-order October through October 21st. So you have this time to decide to buy it. If you saw this on the Japan side, it already came out there. So you can see all the different cards that you're going to get in this set by looking at the Japanese side. You can go out there on Nova TCG. That's the easiest way to see all the different cards. But one thing you're going to notice that's different is the fact that this is an Aniplex anime. This set comes out on February 17th, 2023. It's around Valentine's Day, which is pretty interesting because they have a Rent a Girlfriend coming out last year, February 11th, 2022. So if you aren't heartbroken or upset about Rent a Girlfriend, you could be even more upset on February 17th with Kaguya-sama Love is War Season 2 because two issues that people have with this. First off, the big one is no signatures. You can see it right here, no signatures. We get these stamps. This happened originally on the first season of Kaguya-sama Love is War, June 25th, 2021 was it originally released. You can see here the signatures became stamps. Same deal is happening here. So it shouldn't have been shocking. Another Aniplex anime getting no signatures. The thing though about all that is if you look out on here on Twitter, I wanted to check on something. I wondered why we have Aniplex anime like Saikano, How to Raise a Boring Girlfriend. Why did this get serial numbers, right? Here's one. Here's a better one. We got serial numbers and no signatures, right? And then we also had the same thing happen on Rascal Does Not Dream of a Dreaming Girl. This one is no signatures and there is serial numbers on here. So why? Why does only Kaguya not get serial numbers? Not only Kaguya was the only one, but I wanted to know. So I asked out here on Twitter, and if you just zoom in on what we got, if you are allowed to say, which I know may not be possible, but why does some of these have serial numbers and some don't? No matter what, I love Kaguya, and we'll get some. I opened some back last year with my wife. She pulled the Kaguya SP, which is really awesome. It's on TCG Player roughly for $800. Not to say it's going to sell for $800, but it's a pretty expensive card because of set 2 coming out. And this is how they replied. This is about to become my favorite new gift, Intern Kun. So he wrote, he's Tom Cruise, Top Gun, which was a good movie. If you haven't seen it, I definitely love the new one that came out. I could tell you that, but then I'd have to kill you. So rather than being murdered, I'm going to leave it at that. We are not going to bother asking. We are never going to find out why this decision was made. And again, I knew that it's not likely that they would be able to tell me. So no offense there to Intern Kun. I really understand why you can't say. I know when it comes to corporate stuff and communications, there's some things you could say externally out to people, and there's some things you can't. So this could have been money. Maybe this is to keep consistent with the first set of Kaguya. I don't know. Maybe serial numbers does cost money. I mean, it does definitely cost more to produce. That's for sure. But do they have to pay more for having serial numbers on there? I would think no, but who knows? I have no idea what are in these contracts. But no matter what, Kaguya, it's going to be just plain old stamps on there, no serial numbers. No crazy hunt for serial numbers as we're gonna have with Rascal Does Not Dream of a Dreaming Girl, which comes out on October 14th, 2022. Again, if you watch Rascal Does Not Dream of Bunny Girl Senpai and have not seen this movie, you should definitely check it out. It was really awesome. Moving on, though, we got the restriction list update. It is updated September 23rd and is effective October 10th. Mushoku Tensei took a hit. That was pretty much expected. We knew that happened in Japan. It's happening in English side. The one thing that we did not expect to happen is Kaguya-sama Love is War K is unrestricted. The more cynical mindsets are going to say they did this because they want to sell more stuff because Kaguya-sama is coming out with a second set. So if you unrestrict this, maybe, just maybe, people are going to buy more of this stuff. And I don't know how I feel on that. I honestly have to work that out in my mind. I know a lot of people said that Kaguya-sama Love is War restriction wasn't even needed. So maybe this is like a peace offering there. Maybe it is to sell more sets. But in any case, what's going to happen here is this thing is going to sell. This thing is going to sell a lot of cards. And it did. The interesting thing when I took a look out here was on September 23rd, when this actually came into effect, there was some buying, and right here there was four. I was like, what? What's the deal with this four? Someone gave up hope. Or maybe they saw this as an opportunity to finally sell their cards. So they threw this K out there, four of them for $199.99. Someone sold a part of their max rarity deck right there for $800. That's pretty not insane. I mean, it worked out. If people are going to buy this thing, they might as well do it. And then another sale of $220. So even though these things are stamped, they don't have signatures. If there is playability, if people love that character, then there will be some sales. These things do actually hold on to some sort of value. So let me just zoom out here and find the SPs. Here is special rare. And yeah, you can see this set, even though the lack of signatures, they did go pretty high. And this is the one that my wife pulled for me. So that was really cool that she got that. That was nice. It was a nice trick or treat kind of thing. That was in trade. If you don't remember watching that, I had to trade my wife her opening cards. That was the first pack of cards she's ever opened in her life. First booster box then. I traded that with for like a double date with a friend of hers, and it was actually a lot of fun. I did enjoy it, and I got this card to boot, so that was really, really awesome. And if you go out here to the double rares, we got Series Showdown between Geniuses K, and there were some sales that happened right at the beginning. So you could see September 23rd, 421444. People were buying their playsets back. They want to play. It's dropped off since then, but still, this is pretty nice that that's happened. The other question in my mind here is I don't know if they're going to do reprints of booster boxes. And what I mean by that is we know there's going to be a reprint of the trial decks. To me, I didn't really see a whole good reason why you do a reprint of the trial decks. So right here, I know they were elevated in price. This one's $35. We have this display, $139. Well, actually, never mind. With shipping, that puts it at 164, 65, 164. Still a bit high, but in the end, really, are people really looking for Kaguya-sama Love is War trial decks? I know I got some comments from people that they are looking for it. I know a place around here. It's not around here. It's kind of far away from me, but I did stop by in there about 3 months ago, and they had 2 displays left of this for $20. So there are places that have it. There's places that are sold out of it, but I don't think Kaguya was one of those ones where people were just trying to get a whole lot of it. I can't imagine. Maybe there's small pockets of the country or different places that wanted it, but still, seeing what I see out here on TCG Player, does it really warrant a reprint? I mean, between Kaguya and Overlord at this point, or Mushoku Tensei, or something like that, which would you rather have a reprint of? See, answer that one for me. I think most people would say rather than Kaguya, they would want Fujimi, Konosuba, ReZero, what else we got? Maybe even Batman Ninja. There's probably a plethora of different trial decks that you could have reprinted or looked to do. Overlord. I mean, Bofuri. Some people might want that one as well because at least that has signatures on it. I don't know why Kaguya was the one chosen, other than it was perfect timing, right? Like you have Data Live coming out, you have Kaguya coming out. Might as well attach a trial deck to it. My thing is, rather than printing the trial deck, maybe you might wanted to reprint some of these booster boxes. Some people may say no, but I would think that would have been a better choice than reprinting the actual trial deck. Moving on, so Japanese side, there is a lot of stuff for Japanese side. Big thing for me is Sword Art Online 10th anniversary. We got some previews of cards. Remember, this is not the same. It is not a reprint of the light novel. Totally different. This is the anime. This comes out on November 18th, 2022. We saw some of these pictures before, but we see signatures. I freaking love these. These are so nice. I know some people are saying that they didn't like the pictures compared to the light novel set. I've only ever watched the anime. I haven't read the light novel, so to me, this looks fine. I see nothing wrong with it. And this is exactly how I picture these cards to look in my mind, and that's what they gave me. So it is interesting that some of these got these. I don't know what you want to call this, like this profile-y looking kind of card. Like you got Yu-Gi-Oh here. See all the way up to Silica. We have this profile-y thing, and then the rest of them got these nice actual, I would say like customized art versus this, just normal profile. This looks like you're back when you're in grade school or high school, right? When you got those highlight, was it highlights pictures where you had to choose your background. I think I picked like a blue one and a purple one year. This looks like your high school picture, or not high school picture, maybe your middle school picture. I was trying to think about high school. What did I have for pictures in high school? Maybe I didn't do that. And then there's a senior pictures. Everybody had fancy ones. Anyways, yeah, this is cool with me. I'm definitely okay with this. It's my anime. This is the anime set. Looks exactly the way I imagined it to be. And more importantly, make sure you buy 3 boxes because you should, depending on the place you buy it from. There is a list that will tell you where you should be buying this from that will give out these PR packs. So just take a look and make sure you buy 3 of each. There was a list out there somewhere. I looked and I can't read Japanese anyways, so I'm just gonna hope if I get a PR pack, great. If I don't, I don't. That's just how it's gonna be. Key All Star. I was a little disappointed by this. Just so you know, I like Key. I love the anime inside of it. I was unhappy to find out what was going to be inside of this booster box though. So Key All Stars, this comes out December 9th, 2022. This thing gets translated by Microsoft Edge. The big thing with it is there's a breakdown of the different works inside of it. So we have like Kanon, Air, Clannad, Planetarian, Little Busters, Angel Beats. All I love. Charlotte. I love Charlotte. So good. Niece was the one who told me to watch that. But the big thing for me is 41 Kaginado cards, which is very disappointing to me. The reason being is this came out for Rebirth For You, which again I like Key and Kaginado is good, but at the same time, I really wanted just to have the separate different ones. I wanted to have more of the Clannads, Air, Cannons, Charlottes, Angel Beats cards than having this like collaboration, this show, and having these kind of cards, right? Like if I wanted that, I would have bought this in Rebirth For You, but this is what they give me, which is that's what I mean. It's disappointing. I still pre-ordered it. I'm not canceling my pre-orders or anything like that. This Kaginado came out July 1st, 2022. I'm not doing any of that. I'm going to keep my pre-orders. I'm just a little disappointed in the fact that that's a good portion of the cards inside of this box. That's all. So I'm be a little upset about that. The other thing that I saw out here was Azur Lane. I know people wrote to me that they're going to buy cases of the trial deck, of the booster box. They're really pumped up. I never seen Azur Lane before. I get it. There's ships, right? There's different groups, and there's a lot of women, which is fine. I mean, it's anime, right? I'm good with that. Like, is this off? Is this off here to the right? There we go. Wait. Yep, there it is. So we have this off to the right, but the thing I didn't realize was there's 4 trial decks. And I don't know if the people that wrote to me and said they're gonna buy a case of this stuff, if they were planning on 4 different trial decks, because that's pretty insane. Right, so 4 different trial decks. We got Union Royal, I can't pronounce this one, and Iron Blood. The big thing about those is when I looked at it, I'm not laughing at you. This is just, it's insane. What we have here is 4 different types of signature cards inside of each trial deck. So, yeah, I didn't really think that was going to be the case until I saw this. Let me just double check here. 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, so 4 signatures. And what we know about trial decks, right? A case of these things normally has 2. So you're gonna have to buy roughly 2 of each, unless they change the drop rate on it. You're gonna have to buy 2 cases of each trial deck to even stand a shot of getting them all. That's 8 cases of trial decks. And then that's not even including the booster box, which is pretty insane. So when you look at the booster box, you have 140 normal type of cards and 140 parallels. So this is one of those sets where every card has a parallel, and there's going to be 4 secrets, 39 specials. So we're going to assume those are actual signature cards, triple rares, and super rares. It's gonna be freaking expensive. I wish you the best of luck, people that actually want this. It's almost a blessing that I did not watch this anime yet, because maybe I'd be one of you that would be like, oh my god, I gotta get this. But I can't imagine what this is gonna be like on the wall. And the best part is it comes out December 23rd, 2022. So now you have to make the decision. Family, friends, loved ones, or Azur Lane. And then when you're recovering from all of that, when Valentine's Day hits, you can decide if you want Kaguya-sama Love is War. I know some people don't want it, but that it's a lot of stuff that's coming. And by the way, if that wasn't enough for you, remember we had that release announcement of the stuff that's coming out to be scheduled in 2023. There is so many IPs that were coming out in February. I don't know if it shows it here. No, no. I just remember Marvel was in there. You had Star Wars in there. Oh, look at all this. Heavens Burn Red, D4DJ. We got Chains. This is all the ones that were announced. I don't have like a little timeline here. But there was a lot of stuff that's coming out for February. So it's going to hurt, especially if you love Azur Lane. So good luck, not making fun of you. I know what it feels like to love a certain IP and throw a whole lot of money at it. If you love Azur Lane, it's going to be expensive. All right, last part is the Bushiroad financial presentation. If you do not like numbers or anything like that, then I'm going to I'm going to summarize here for you what this says. Bushiroad made a lot of money. They made a lot of money on TCGs. There you go. And it is certain TCGs. So on here, you're going to have 2 different forms, the financial results off to the right, and then you have the presentation materials. For the people that do not like reading and just want to see a bunch of graphs and charts and numbers and stuff that goes like this, you're going to want to look at the presentation material. That's what they give to the higher up people, right? The financial results has all these words and paragraphs that some people that just want to read a summary real quick, you can get it out of there. So I'm going to show you both. I'm going to start out with the TCG department that came from the financial results. On here it says record high sales was achieved in the current consolidated fiscal period with remarkable growth in the overseas business, establishment of a position of Weiss Schwarz as a platform, and launch of new titles. Both Japanese and English versions of Weiss Schwarz grew significantly from the previous year, and the sales hit record highs in both versions. Now, the rest of this paragraph, the one thing I want to point out to you is what is missing. because I work for a corporation. And when you work for a corporation that owns a bunch of different companies inside of it, you report up to a parent company. It's very telling when some of them are missing, right? Like sometimes they're in here and they say they do bad or whatever, but when they're completely missing off there, you can try to figure out what that actually means. What you're going to see here is Cardfight Vanguard. Cardfight Vanguard, Overdress. And then we have Shadow versus Evolve. The one thing missing is Rebirth for You. That is not on here at all. So you can feel whatever you want to feel from that. Most people think Rebirth for You is dying. Maybe this is just another data point on that whole list. And here is the part of the charts and all that good stuff for you. The main thing I want you to glean out of this thing is right here. This is fiscal year 2022 highlights. Everything is up. Bushiroad is killing it, right? TCG department, MD department, music department, sports department recorded record high sales. So you get, this is a little transparent green here, or blue, but this arrow is pointing upwards. You can see this is over millions of yen. 32, 33, 32, 41.9, right? Million yen. And you can see the breakouts here. The big one is your TCG department. 10, 7, 8, bang, 2022, 15,260. TCGs is definitely carrying the load here. All the other ones are up, yeah, like it shows, but this is the one that has grown the most out of everything from Bushiroad. That's what you need to see. The more important part is what breakdown of that. So we have the TCG department domestic and overseas sales. The overseas sales ratio in TCG department sales in fiscal year 2022 was around 40.6%. Again, just proving that overseas, which is us, right? Anything not in Japan, that is growing extensively. So you have two different colors here. You have overseas foreign language, which is English. You have overseas Japanese language, and then you have domestic. So they realize, right, that people do buy Japanese TCG cards of Weiss Schwarz in other places. I mean, that makes sense, right? We have people that bought, let's say, Buddy Girl Senpai reprint because it had signatures on it. People bought Sneaker Bunko because we're never going to get Sneaker Bunko in English, and that applies to every set, right? Everybody, there's a percentage of sales that happen overseas. Tokyo Revengers, I bought, right? Like I bought Miss Kobayashi's Dragon Mane from Japan, the whole deal, the Japanese version. So what is important to see from this one is overseas English sales 12, 16, 1480. So this is fiscal year 20. We got 12, 16, 1485, all the way up to 4,091 or 4 million. It's in millions yen. So 4 million in yen. That's what it went to. Overseas Japanese went from 733, 1269 to 2106. So pretty solid, almost tripling on each end. Overall here, we got 48.4. I know they wrote yen before, but this is in dollars. I don't know if they just switched it on me here. So 48 million yen or dollars, whatever, it doesn't tell me. But sales at Bushiroad International for English mobile games and English trading card nearly doubled year over year. It's pretty solid. That's amazing what they did here. And I mean, it makes sense. The one thing I want to point out here is on this next slide, we have a listing of the different IPs that they have. And this chart represents the amount of years they were in existence. So don't think this is like sales or anything right here. So Rebirth for You, third year, Stardom, third year, Assault Lily, fourth year is what it's saying. But the thing here that's most important is right here, sales ranking in fiscal year 2022. And I want to point this out because people that thought Rebirth for You is dying or non-existent, it doesn't break down the numbers in this report. I looked for it. I couldn't find it. Maybe somebody else can find it. But Weiss Schwarz, number one. Isn't that pretty crazy? Because we have these quarterly conferences that they do, and it always feels like they put so much emphasis on Cardfight Vanguard. So much emphasis when Realistically, Weiss Schwarz is at the top of the chain, and I wouldn't have ever guessed this, but we have Bang Dream up here. Bang Dream is number two. And again, this says sales ranking in fiscal year 2022. So it's not anything outside. It doesn't show you profit or anything like that. This is the sales ranking. We got Cardfight Vanguard third, New Japan Pro Wrestling number four, Hollow Live number five, D4 DJ Love Live. What you're going to notice is there are some missing off of this list. The three missing from this left side is Rebirth For You, Argonavis, and Sympho Gear. All three of them are missing, which means they are far down on the actual list that we have, which kind of stinks, but that's just how it is. The other reason why I wanted to take a look at this is more on a personal note. I love AEW. I love New Japan Pro Wrestling, so it was really cool to see them do the Forbidden Door. That was really cool to actually see in Illinois. And then I am definitely, anyways, I'm scheduled to go to Japan next year, and I want to see Bang Dream live. The one I want to see the most is Raise the Ceiling. I want to see them really badly, so if I end up going there, I wanted to see how they were doing fiscally to make sure that Bang Dream isn't just going to disappear next year or anything like that. And what we saw here, sales for Bang Dream number two on the list. So I don't imagine that going anywhere anytime soon. By the way, the voice actor card set comes out for Raise the Ceiling. I'm supposed to get it on Wednesday. I'm so pumped to get it. It's going to be really, really nice. Right here, scrolling up, we got the live IP business and music department. When you take a look at fiscal year 2022, collectively up over the last 3 years. So pretty good. I don't think they're going anywhere anytime soon. And the one other thing from this, we all knew this, Weiss Schwarz Hololive production, English language version, a big hit. The Weiss Schwarz trading card game released an English language edition of the Hololive production over April to May, driving overseas sales in the TCG department and proving very popular. So what I do believe is one day we should be seeing Hololive English members coming to Weiss Schwarz. Why they haven't done that yet, I don't know. Maybe they're trying to get the most out of the JP side, right? They're putting that in Rebirth For You coming out for December. Maybe they're just trying to get it and save it up for next year, maybe. So here's the Hololive one that's coming out for December 16th and 23rd. So we have a trial deck and a booster pack coming out there. So if you love Hololive, you can check that out in Rebirth For You. But that was basically it that you got out of this thing. I mean, you have Shadow vs. Evolve, Cardfight Vanguard, and then more of what's upcoming here. So Bushiroad is really knocking it out of the park. Hopefully they invest more, give more, I guess, attention to Weiss Schwarz. Maybe one day make an online version if they can. I know everybody says it's licensing and all that good stuff, but I think it's possible. It would only be held within a limited period of time that you can purchase that stuff, but I think it's still possible to actually have a licensed version of an online game. If not, there's always, I guess you could play over Discord or remote fight or Weiss Fight. There you go. You can play in all those different places, and I guess that's okay, right? But I'd rather do it at locally. If not, I would like to have it locally or on an app. Those are my two choices. I don't know. I just don't like doing the whole camera thing and all that. It's harder that way. But that is everything. Hopefully you enjoyed those fiscal numbers for the people that are awake. As always, have fun, be happy, and don't spend anything outside of your budget. Have a good one.